Pisces season 2026 has begun, and in this video I'm going to pull for all of the major astrological aspects happening throughout the season to provide you with some intuitive guidance to help you move through Pisces season smoothly and consciously. So let's see what the cards have to say. On Wednesday, February 18th, the Sun enters Pisces. Pisces season begins on February 18th with the Sun entering Pisces, and the Sun will stay in Pisces until March 19th before it moves into Aries and a brand new astrological season and the start of the spring equinox. So let me read you the description first for the Sun entering Pisces from astrology.com so you can get an idea of what this energy is about. It says, as we get toward the end of the winter, it's time to get in touch with our emotions again. Over the next few weeks, we'll feel imaginative, empathetic, and kind as we envision a better world for ourselves, just as long as we don't lose ourselves in daydreams and forget to live. So yeah, I mean, Pisces is known, of course, for being a daydreamer, lost in the clouds, head in the clouds, final sign of the zodiac, very connected, very exciting energy. I like a Pisces energy. I am a Pisces sun, so that is probably why. This is my season. My birthday closes the season this year. Before we get into the rolling of the dice, as you can probably tell, we're doing this a bit differently. I've done them individually, but I decided I want to do the entirety of the season together in one video. So you'll find the timestamps for each of the aspects below if you want to hop ahead to certain dates or certain specific aspects that you want to know more about. Maybe they relate to you, relate to your placements or your chart, your astrological chart, or maybe they're just important days that you've got coming up and you want to see what the guidance is connected to that aspect. There are 9 major aspects that I'm going to pull on for Pisces season, and I've added one extra aspect that I want to look at for us because it's a big one. And it happens right at the start of Pisces season in 2 days. So we will be looking at the Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. That's a conjunction that's happening. Normally I won't pull for those, just the planets moving and a couple of big asteroids, or like 3 big asteroids moving into different signs, but this one's a big one. It's really starting this brand new era, so that'll be the next one we pull for. I do also want to show you the card options for the Pisces season. Pick a card that I have up now. During Pisces season, the Pisces season pick a card will be available, as well as March monthly reading, and then as we move through the season, the Aries season pick a card will be available. I don't have those cards yet, so I'm going to show you, since we're starting Pisces season, what your options are, and just go over the prompts just so you have an idea in case you feel called to choosing a card and purchasing that reading for yourself. We are using the Spiritual Awakening deck for the cards for the Pisces season pick a card. Very exciting energy and vibes quite well with the Piscean vibe. Okay, so for your card options, I've titled the Pisces season pick a card reading Between Worlds, Discern, Release, and Realign. It's really a threshold energy that we're feeling throughout Pisces season. So your card options, 3 options to choose from. Card option number 1 is the Law of Divine Will. Card option number 2 is the Law of Dharma. And card option number 3 is the Law of Transcendence. And as you can probably tell, all of these cards in this deck deals with the laws of the universe. So whatever you feel called to, the link will be in the description if you want to choose a card and dig into your reading. I'm just going to go over the prompts that we have here during the poll so you have an idea of what kind of guidance you're going to receive during that pick a card reading. There's 4 card prompts that I move through. The first is about your emotional truth rising. We're asking the question, where are you being guided to soften instead of push? Love that energy, especially for Pisces season. Card prompt number 2 is about the mind versus the imagination. The question is, what thought pattern is distorting your perception right now? Card prompt and intention number 3 is inner conflict and the healing path that we're going to be moving with through Pisces season. And the question is, what struggle is asking for your attention and understanding? And the 4th card coupling or card combo and option is release and renew. And you know, the intention behind this, of course, is to help us have an understanding of what it is we're meant to be letting go of as we move over this threshold, or we feel the energy of being between worlds. And the question is, how can you create space for what wants to emerge next for you? So again, if you feel called to choosing a card and you want more insight on Pisces season, you can check that out. Now, we do have new decks that we're going to be working with. The first deck is the Fortune Oracle. Love this deck. It's a pretty positive deck, so I love that they had me pull this one out for Pisces season. Fortune Oracle, and we're using the Vagabond Wild Tarot here. Vibrant deck for sure. So we're going to do one roll, and we're just going to make our way through the aspects. Of course, the first being the Sun in Pisces. So let's roll the dice for the season. Shuffle. It's a 6 and a 2. A 6 and a 2. This is an 8 energy, of course. If you happen to check out the guidance for the solar eclipse that happened, we also rolled an 8. The 6 and the 2 energy is definitely asking us to look at our relationships, of course, with the coupling energy with that 2. Also, decisions needing to be made to provide ourselves with more balance and harmony will be important because, again, we have that 6 there. So decisions for peace, decisions for harmony, decisions for some balance and relief. So let's get these shuffled up and set for the season. Okay, they also just wanted me to make sure that I am referencing the 8. 8 energy is about manifestation, and it's really about like knowing yourself quite well. When you get to an 8 energy, things are in flow. You can imagine the 8, picture the 8, it's an infinity symbol. So there is a bit of flow that happens when you get an 8. It's about knowing who you are and what it is that you want to call into the world, and to begin really being in alignment with that in order to be able to manifest it into the physical realm. So we're starting with the first aspect, of course, the Sun entering Pisces. Let's see what we have. Card number 13 and goals. Progress is positive and personal goals will be achieved. Boom, for the season. This card is such a spirited card, the goals card. Like I said, I love this deck, absolutely love this deck. The goals card is about really recognizing and setting. It's an affirmation that says whatever goals you set for this season, you have the ability to achieve them. Again, we're being warned during Pisces season, of course, to not have our heads stuck in the clouds or be too dreamy. But I think there's this sense of needing to be imaginative, of course. Your goals and desires happen first by being able to imagine them, to dream about them. It's like dreaming something to life in a really cool way only happens if you dream first. So what I would say is, since we're getting this for the Sun entering Pisces, it's going to be important for us to make sure that we set these goals. Whatever goals that you're looking to achieve or what you have in mind, or if you have desires coming up, if you see it in your mind's eye and you can imagine it for yourself, what they're saying is you're going to make progress on that throughout this season. It's very possible that you're going to be productive. And it's a positive kind of movement towards your goals and dreams for the season ahead. Very exciting. You want to set those goals is what I would say. We don't want to be in Pisces season, again, floating around with our head in the clouds and not being able to at least acknowledge that here on the physical plane, whether that's a list or a dream journal or, whatever it is, writing down your intentions, mantras, making a goals list, recording your visions. All of that is amazing when it's up here, but it's even better when you can jot it down. This is like this goals card for a seasonal energy. The sun moving into Pisces tells us if you dream it, you can do it, basically. Let's see what the tarot gives here. The Hermit energy. Interesting. And look at her. This Hermit card is so cool. You can see that she's venturing with her light into the darkness. I love this energy. I feel like she's coming out of the cave. I'll say that. A Hermit energy is where we go within ourselves to reconnect with our divine light. Oftentimes the Hermit is, depicted moving up into the cave, taking a moment of solitude, and really tapping into what the divine light is giving them and where they've been led and what they have to offer. But there is a time where the Hermit must come out of the cave and come back into, real life, into society, into community. And that's what I'm feeling. It's like there's a bit of a darkness that's going on here, but she's found her light. And that's what these goals are, right? These are your shining little lights here. They're going to happen within you first because a Hermit energy, it's a major arcana card, and it is a card of solitude. It's a card that says, quiet down, go within, listen, feel, envision, reconnect, so that you know where your light is leading you, so that when you come out of the cave, you know how to use your light, and then you can allow it to lead you. And that's exactly what this depiction of this card feels like. It feels like she is, she's got her walking stick. This is a sign of wisdom. And she's got her lantern to lead her way into the darkness, so she'll never be lost. We want to be led by our inner light. We want to set goals and make progress based on how it is that we are being called to make progress. So if you haven't yet, at the very start of Pisces season, it may be a great idea for you to kind of sit down, have some solitude, meditate, journal, sometimes just, doing mind dumps and scribbling and things like that can be very helpful to reconnect to that light within and what it is that you truly do desire, what your goals are, getting clear about them, being intentional about them. And then, as I said, I feel like here during Pisces season, they're telling us we're gonna need to come out of that cave now. We're gonna have to venture out into the world, even though we may not have had exact experience with the knowledge of our light that we have gained by going into the cave and reconnecting. We have goals now, and we will be led through Pisces season by our vision and by that beautiful inner light of yours. So it's going to be important as the sun enters Pisces, as we begin this season, for you to envision, for you to set those goals for yourself, and then for you not to be afraid to move into perhaps an unknown territory or places and spaces outside of your comfort zone to be able to bring that light into the world. Again, the Hermit energy is about moving away from the chatter of society and the noises, the external blah blah, other people's opinions, other people's judgments, the chaos that can happen. Moving away from that to spend some time alone to reconnect. And then once you've done that, the goal is to come out of the cave and return to society or community more grounded, more stable, more connected, more aligned with who you truly are, and in this case, with what your goals truly are. And then to go after them step by step with your light leading the way. And I almost forgot to pull a charm, getting back into the swing. Definitely want to pull a charm for this. I'm like, something's missing. Ooh. It is a crown charm, a very ornate crown charm. Gorgeous. Love this. There it is. This is saying, to me, it feels like we climb up the mountain, we head into the cave, and just before we go internal, just before we step into meditation or solitude, reconnect, we just place our crown, outside the cave, and then we move into the cave. And then as you're exiting the cave, I feel like it's time to readjust that crown of yours. Having a crown charm show up for Pisces season, the sun moving into Pisces, is rich from spirit because, as I said, Pisceans are connected. 12th sign of the zodiac has this divine connection that's quite innate. We all do. But Pisceans vibe there. And so to have the crown pictured, it's like you're opening up the crown of your head. You're opening up the crown in your energy to be able to receive and be led by your light, by your inner light, by your divine will. And so I love that. Multiple meanings, adjusting your crown, right? Taking your power back, using your light, and being the channel for what is calling you and where you're meant to be led for the season ahead. On Friday, February 20th, Saturn conjuncts Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. So as I mentioned in the open, this is not normally a major aspect that I would pull for. However, it's kind of a big deal. The astrologers can't stop talking about it. It's the beginning of this brand new energy, brand new era. Both Neptune moved into Aries, of course, not too long ago. It had that long stint in Pisces, and very recently, last week, Saturn moved into Aries as well, and now they are forming this conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, which of course we know Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and they're at 0 degrees. This is like limitless possibilities and new beginning upon new beginning. It hasn't happened for about 2,000 years. It's kind of a big deal, and so that is why I am pulling for it, and I've added it to the list. I'm going to read you the description from astrology.com so you can get an idea, and then we'll see what the cards have to say. It says, truly the start of a new era as we are encouraged to test boundaries and even burn some bridges as we try to bring our collective dreams into reality. Know your limits and try to push through them. Yeah, it's a big deal. The feeling of this is long-term, right? It definitely doesn't feel like this is going to happen in the snap of a finger. This is going to happen tomorrow. This is going to happen. It's just a beginning of a much bigger time frame. And I thought it was important to honor it. So let's see what they have to give us for guidance for Saturn conjuncting Neptune. Saturn in Aries conjunct Neptune in Aries at 0 degrees. Oracle. The Sun. The Sun card. Card number 30. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. Here it is for you. Up close. Obviously, it's not that surprising to get this kind of a card with this kind of a conjunction and this kind of an aspect. It's kind of intense, right? This energy is very intense. And they're saying, shine bright, right? This is the beginning. It's the dawn, literally, Sun card, dawn of a new time. Enormous growth will be happening. Things are not going to be the way they were. This is a new era. You're going to be doing things differently, thinking differently, being differently, all of the above. Enormous growth is a good way to put it. I like the description on the card there. It's nice. They couldn't have said it better, more simply, is what I would say. I think we have an opportunity to grow into a different version of yourself, period. And this is the start of that. Let's see what the tarot has to give. The Knight of Pentacles. This is the energy that I was picking up on, right? Like, this does not feel like this is an overnight change. The Knight of Pentacles is we're moving slowly into a new era. Sometimes we might just be sitting in, not moving at all, A Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. They still move, but they move practically. They take the next step. So it's like enormous growth, one step at a time. I love this combination. It's good advice from Spirit for this big conjunction. I mean, you literally cannot click on astrology videos lately without them talking about this. It's a big deal, you know, and it is a big deal. It's just clearly Spirit saying like, yeah, this is enormous growth. This is the dawn of a new era and a new age, etc., etc. Something big is happening and it's changing, and it's probably not going to be like it was. You are going to change as a result of this. However, the Knight of Pentacles, you know, she's not even moving in this card. Knight of Pentacles energy is movement because knights move. However, she's not on her horse yet, or her unicorn. Knight of Pentacles energy is about being practical, actually surveying your options, looking at the map before you get on the road, planning things out before you jump into the things, you know, being very practical. So like I said, this is very slow movement. There's no need to try to be impulsive and figure out a whole era of your life overnight. I just thought it was important to include it because it is a kind of a big deal. It's a big conjunction, and it does mark the beginning of something new. So if you feel like I'm not sure what to do, the advice here is to look at what you could do practically, like do some research, look up that map, look up the list, sign up for something that you need to learn about in order to change and have this change take effect, or this growth take effect over time. The Knight of Pentacles, you know, loves a bit of research, really doesn't want to take the next step unless it feels really good, feels grounded, makes sense. So do your, you know, cross your T's, dot your I's, do your research, whatever makes you feel like you're grounded and you're ready to take that next step. But you're gonna feel the power of literally the sun energy wanting for you to heal and grow and like water yourself, right? So that you bloom and blossom into something different. But I just think it's going to take some time is what they're giving here. The dragonfly charm. Yeah, time and a bit of magic. This makes me feel like there's going to be opportunities for magic every step of the way. We're looking to be led, we're looking to grow, we're looking to learn, we're looking to move, we're looking to become something different. It's like an ascension energy at a slow pace. So look for the magic in things. I mean, for me, a dragonfly is always going to be, well, quick bursts of energy. So you might find something that feels good and then you go ahead and you take action and you do it. But a dragonfly always makes me feel like there's magic in the air. Something's going on. I'm being led. I should pay attention. So if you notice dragonflies, you know, pay close attention. It may be connected to what it is you're supposed to step into next, or just an insight that is connected to your bigger growth, especially your bigger goals and growing into those. Very exciting energy. Love this. But remember, practical. This is the long game, one step at a time. On Wednesday, February 25th, Mercury retrogrades in Pisces. All right, we've got Mercury retrograding here in the sign of Pisces. Mercury entered Pisces on February 6th and is going to go direct in Pisces on March 20th. That is the start of Aries season, that astrological new year there. So this is a little over 3 weeks that we're going to have Mercury retrograding in Pisces. Here's the description from astrology.com. It says, yikes. Our imagination becomes a weapon over the next couple of weeks, as it's easy to get mad at things we made up in our heads. From jumping to conclusions to having a crisis of faith. Remember to keep your feet on the ground and don't run away with your thoughts. I think this was the, warning that we saw as the sun was moving into Pisces. It's important to recognize that we could be a bit floaty when we're in Pisces energy. I call it floaty. You're just like lost in dreamland. Or just allowing yourself to imagine something to the point where there's nothing being done is important to look at as the communication planet is retrograding in Pisces. It's like some of the thoughts and the things that are being communicated with you need to go through a filter of reality as well. Otherwise, you could kind of just be making things up in your head if there's no like checkpoints for you to work with as you're dreaming up these beautiful things or imagining these beautiful things. It doesn't mean don't imagine. It just means keep tabs on the communication that's going on. So let's see what the cards have to give us. Patience, card number 24. Slow down, change your attitude, and clear your mind. Exactly. There you go. I feel like they're like, this is an hourglass for a reason. You are not running out of time. You are not running out of time. They keep saying that. We're not running out of time. It's okay for you to be able to be in dreamland and then move things through a moment, sleep on it, take a beat, do some research, be practical, do what you need to do to have a realistic viewpoint of it as well, is what I want to say. You don't have to rush to it as if time is running out. To have the patience card, especially while Mercury is retrograding, again, in Pisces, and by the way, it's going to go direct right after the season changes. So for the rest of Pisces season, we have a communication retrograde in Pisces. It's like you can dream about something, but be patient with yourself as you're bringing it into or looking to work on bringing it into the physical manifestation. This isn't about rushing. And by the way, if you have a narrative in your head that's telling you you don't have time, you need to bring this vision to life, Remember, we're working off a goals energy for the season that asks us to tune into our inner self and our inner light in order to be able to make tracks and progress on those goals. And they're telling us now to have patience with the communication that we're getting. This could also be like maybe you're waiting on a line or waiting on communication or a message or an insight or, a phone call or a text message or whatever it is, from a dream that you have or a vision that you have or something that you're working on. And it sucks to have to wait, but they're saying all in good time. If you find that you have been patient for a long while with something that it is you've been dreaming about or wanting to work towards, during this particular retrograde, your patience may have paid off, meaning you may start to receive messages about it, or you may get that hit that you needed, or as things become clear during the retrograde, which is very possible. What I'm hearing basically is make sure you're running everything through that reality filter, that you're bringing yourself back down to this planet here, because I think we're going to have an abundance of vision and great ideas. We're going to be very imaginative. It's just letting your head run away with you. It's funny, they put yikes exclamation point at the front of that little description, which we take with a grain of salt, of course, because it might be like, wow, yikes, amazing. What can I do with this? And instead of trying to rush to figure it out and force, the patience energy wants us to lean into listening and being patient and slowing down. Let's see what we have for the tarot. Yes, the options will lead the way. 3 of Wands. There you go. Yes, and into the mist is what they just said. A 3 of Wands and into the mist. A 3 of Wands energy is about your options for the future, being able to take time to survey, to plan, to decipher, to feel into, to see where your spirit is moving you, and certainly not to jump to conclusions if you don't feel like you're ready to embark upon that path. Something will be calling you. The question is, does it feel like the right option for you at this time? Do you need a little more time? And if you do, that's fine. A 3 of Wands is a really nice card. It can kind of go either way. This is a card that is spirit-led, led by your fire, led by your soul, led by your light. So if you are surveying your options, which is what a 3 of Wands is definitely about, and you're really envisioning the paths that you have in front of you, the ideas that you have, where they might lead, That's spot on. Being patient enough to go, I know it's this one. And then making the plans and embarking upon that path is also in alignment during Mercury retrograde, as long as it feels clear. Again, I feel like there is time that needs to be taken. This is not a rushed energy, especially with the communication retrograde, right? Especially with that energy, you just want to be clear before you go. And part of that might be slowing it down, planning a bit, getting your options in place, and waiting for the right time. And that's okay. Again, you're not running out of time. Okay. The love charm. It's making me laugh because a patience message is generally not a fun message to deliver to anybody. Nobody ever wants to hear you need to be patient. But delivering the message with love, but then also I would say loving yourself through it, making sure you're choosing the path that is guided by your heart, loving what you do, listening to your spirit, slowing down and giving that to yourself. You know, you don't have to figure everything out if it's not ready to be given to you. It's okay. We're about to be fired up into Aries season. And for now, this Mercury retrograde is going to carry us through the continuation or the close of Pisces season. So listen for the insights that feel clear. Run them through some sort of like reality or manifestation filter, authenticity filter that feels good to you. Move down these paths, plan, think about it, envision it, make phone calls, find some information out. But certainly don't rush into anything that doesn't feel like it's something you, in this case, love, or something that you're actually being guided to at this time just because you think, I got to do it. I'm supposed to do it. If I want to bring my vision to life, there's no time like the present. I have to do it now. That anxiety energy doesn't feel present at all here. This feels like exploration, curiosity, perhaps a bit of planning, and really listening to your spirit and taking the time to do that. On Monday, March 2nd, Mars enters Pisces. So Mars is going to move into Aries on April 9th. So we've got Mars in Pisces here for about 5.5 weeks. Let's read the description from astrology.com. It says, March roars into our lives over the next several weeks as we'll be spending time fighting shadow as the planet of war enters the fanatical water sign. While everything feels calm on the outside, we'll be battling inner wars with ourselves. Remember to be gentle and compassionate with everyone, including yourself. So this is a bit of a fiery energy, you know, and the internal connected water sign, maybe at war. We saw that happening a bit so far throughout the season where it just feels like the pushing is not needed. This doesn't need to be impulsive. There is a dreamy and imaginative, visionary type of energy during Pisces season. Mercury is retrograde in Pisces now. And so, you know, the idea here is that we don't want to be at war within ourselves. Gentle and compassionate with everyone, including yourself, leaning into the water and allowing for the dreams to happen and just regrounding when need be. Yes, when need be. Let's see what the Oracle has to give us. Mars in Pisces. 5, card number 5, and celebrations. You are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. Absolutely love the gift opening up here. This is looking for those moments of celebration, using the Mars energy, not to be at war, but to celebrate. Thank you, Spirit, for spinning this on its axis. Absolutely. I love this energy. You are a gift. Give yourself the gift of celebratory energy, spinning things into optimism, looking at the positive side of things. Even as you're diving into the shadow, like you don't know what's in the box, but when you open it, it's light. We're diving into the shadow energy. And if you are doing that, it's in order to be able to come and see the light more clearly. whenever you're taking a deep dive into your shadow self or darkness, the light becomes more prominent. I love that they have given us a celebratory card here, especially with that kind of energy, because you can be pulled into like having to validate your dreams or being brought down and being at war about whether or not you can bring your dreams to life, or if your goals are valid and acceptable. You can lean into the opinions of others or the outside world, and we already know what we're working with for Pisces season. So we don't want to be taken down by internal warring energy. Instead, we're looking for these points of celebration or light in order to focus on those. So if there are little steps that you're taking, you're going to want to celebrate those. If there are insights or visions that are coming into your mind, jot those down and celebrate those. I feel like the small little celebrations are really going to matter while Mars is in Pisces. Let's see what the tarot has to give us here. The Two of Wands. We pulled the Three of Wands yesterday, and now we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands energy is, and I didn't mean to say yesterday, by the way. Yesterday meaning for the last aspect, for the Mercury retrograde energy. We were looking at the Three of Wands. Now we've got this Two of Wands energy here, and the Two of Wands is about contemplation. A decision making, being able to make a choice one way or another, having the world in your hands and surveying your options. However, I want to say this feels to me, given that we were teed up with the Three of Wands for Mercury retrograding in Pisces, and now we got Mars entering Pisces, you know, firing things up, going like, you got to do it. You got to get things done. It's like, oh, we were just told to be patient and survey our options. And it's like, yeah, I think we celebrate our small wins, and this Two of Wands is asking for us to make the conscious choice to do that. The Two of Wands, you can sit in contemplation forever. And so if there is something really that delightful, something really joyful that is lighting you up or that you're excited about, making the choice to celebrate that little thing is going to be very important. It seems like a small thing, or it seems like it's not a big deal to do that, but it's a quick elevation in the energy that may otherwise kind of be dipping really deeply into something when there's no need for you to, you know, have to go there, is what I want to say. So look for the gifts in every day for the next 5.5 weeks. Again, March 2nd is when Mars moves into Pisces. So having gentleness, being compassionate, giving yourself a break, but this is celebratory. This is like, I'm choosing to celebrate my wins, even the small ones, and nobody is going to stop me. I'm taking my life and my world into my own hands and making that choice. And I think that's what this is all about. So at the very beginning of March, it says it roars into our lives. Yeah, at the start of March, you have to consciously choose to go, I'm not going to be taken down by this, that, or the other thing. And I'm not going to allow myself to be at war internally with my visions and whether or not they can become reality, my ego and my intuition. But instead, I'm going to ground myself and be real and make the choice to move practically through, you know, the month slowly if you have to be patient with yourself, to survey your options and celebrate those small wins is what I would say. Mars in Pisces, celebrate your small wins, no matter what they are. No one can tell you what's a win for you, right? Success is very different for everyone. When you have a small success or you have a small victory, that's going to be very important over the next 5.5 weeks, right through March and into April. Let's see what we have for a charm. Ooh. This is like a triangle geometric energy. I'm just listening. This feels like something that is set up for power. Yeah, it's reminding me of a copper pyramid that I have. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah, they're showing my copper pyramid. It's set up for like energetic transmission, magnified, being able to call things in and magnify the energy on a current. Right, thank you. it feels protective. It's almost an all-seeing eye, or almost, like a third eye energy. But what I'm feeling is this small wins, celebrating those small wins, are going to energize the current, the frequency. So again, like I was saying, even though it feels like a small thing and it's no big deal and you could pass it over and whatever, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I would say it's going to be important to allow your emotional body to experience the win, no matter how little it might seem to your mind. If it feels good and it feels good to celebrate, do a little happy dance, do a little victory dance, give spirit a high five, as I often like to do that, because the current, it's like it magnifies the current of energy somehow. It also is a protective energy, but mostly I'm feeling the small wins are what create the big magnification, which is going to call that in for you as well as we move forward. So yeah, make the conscious choice to celebrate your small wins and victories and successes through the month of March. On Tuesday, March 3rd, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. This full moon lunar eclipse is the coupling energy for this eclipse season to the solar eclipse that we had in Aquarius right before the start of Pisces season. So I'm going to read you the description so you can get an idea of what this magnified lunation is bringing in for us. It says, this lunar eclipse creates opportunities for healing and growth as you create space in your life to become your most authentic self. Get rid of the clutter in your life and embrace habits that serve you well. Just don't get caught up in needing things to be perfect. Interesting. Virgo energy. I don't know. Sometimes Virgos get a bad rap. I like a Virgo energy, especially with all of this dreamy, floaty, needing to be grounded energy, visionary energy, those kind of warnings. To have this beautiful lunar eclipse popping up for us, I think it's nice. It balances out the energy of all of the insights and the visions that we're having. It's creating opportunity for us to see where it is we can heal and we can grow, and we can actually see that coming to life in our physical spaces and places. And it might just help you declutter things. Let's see what the cards have to say. 27, proposal. A romantic or business opportunity is indicated. I'm just listening because proposal energy. Well, I think that, the universe is probably going to proposition you. That's how they're saying it. We want to proposition you. Interesting. It feels like, there's going to be opportunities left and right to get grounded, to clear things out, to get organized, to put things in order, basically. And with a full moon lunar eclipse, it's really hard to miss that energy. So this tells us that it's going to be something given to us, shown to us, an opportunity proposed to us. Perhaps for you, it's an actual opportunity for a proposal, whether that be a business endeavor or a romantic partner or some other kind of opportunity that is being provided for you. Very fun energy, wonderful. Gonna be probably hard to miss with this eclipse. I would say in general, the feeling is that if you look around and you're conscious around your life during this eclipse energy, you're going to see what needs to be kind of cleared out, what needs to be removed, what's fallen to the wayside, they're saying. What doesn't work for you anymore, what doesn't align with you anymore, it just doesn't vibe with you anymore. This could be you clearing out your closets. This could be something as simple as that. Getting ready for springtime, removing things, rearranging things, dusting. I mean, it could be anything that just doesn't feel like it fits with the alignment that you've got going on now, and perhaps your goals and dreams for the future. I wouldn't be surprised if you feel the nudge, like something calling you, like something being proposed to you, an opportunity being proposed to you, to just organize, declutter, get things done. Let's see what the tarot has to give. An Ace of Cups. Look at that. Some of you may actually be getting proposed to, okay? That combination of cards says a proposal of the heart. That's romantic to me. So if you are getting proposed to romantically, leave a comment down below. Let us know if that's you. An Ace of Cups, Ace of Hearts. Otherwise, this feels like something that you're absolutely going to love, that is going to make you feel overjoyed. Yeah, a peace dove. Maybe it's going to make you feel at peace. An Ace of Cups is the beginning of a new way to feel love, but because we've got it connected to a proposal energy, I think something's going to be presented that you're absolutely going to love, and that we've got to keep our antennas up for that during this lunar eclipse for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's physical. I mean, it's a full moon in Virgo. I think it's probably going to be a new way of doing something physically that you're doing that you're going to love the results of, or it's just going to feel really good with an Ace of Cups. This wants our heart to overflow with emotional fulfillment, essentially. It also may be doing something. It's the start of a new thing that feels really great. So I think the advice here is just really pay attention to where these opportunities are being offered to you, or where the offerings are being provided for you. And if it's a yes for your heart, let your heart sink into it. Let your heart say yes to it. Yeah, they said you're allowed to be in love. Like, you're allowed to love things. It's okay to do that. Say yes to that. Your heart wants it. It could be like, my body needs relaxation, so I'm saying yes to the opportunity for a treatment or a massage. It could be something like that as well. Whatever is going to make you feel really good, if it's being offered to you, this feels like a yes here with this lunar eclipse. Let's see what we've got for a charm. Okay. A tiny little elephant. Huh. And I don't know if you can see that, but that elephant has stars on. Little tiny stars on this little tiny elephant. Okay, elephants remove obstacles. They're abundant, signs of abundance. And because that elephant has stars on it, this may be something that is being proposed to you that you've been hoping for a while. It may be connected to your dreams. You may be decluttering things to make you feel in more alignment so that you can achieve your goals and dreams without anything in your way, right? That's like what that feels like. There's a removal in order for abundance, in order for connection to faith and hope and your dreams. So if you're getting a new business proposal, a new job proposal, and it feels like it makes you so excited and is going to put you at ease, I would say the answer is yes, they've cleared the space for it, right? This is a yes energy. Here you go. Let's clear it out and make room for something that you're absolutely going to love. So please pay attention for this as you're moving through the next couple of weeks with this influence of this full moon in Virgo and the magnified energy. And if you're wondering where your stuff is or where your opportunities are, look around your spaces and places, including up here in your mind, your emotional body. Clear your energy. Make some room. Because something you love wants to be offered, is on offered, or wants to come in for you. And so if you need to make some room for that, I think it's a good idea to do that for this lunar eclipse for sure. But definitely pay attention to where things are being cleared away and offered up for you. And if it feels good, then say yes. On Friday, March 6th, Venus enters Aries. Venus will move into Taurus on March 30th. So we've got Venus in Aries for about 3.5 weeks. Let's read the description so you have an idea of what this energy is like. It says, spring fling season is coming in hot with the fiery ram in the planet of love. In relationships, we become bold, confident, but a little reckless with our hearts and the hearts of others. You've been warned. Interesting energy. We've got a bit of a warning there. Firing things up is what it feels like, which is kind of nice and can be really inspiring, really passionate perhaps. I guess we're looking to avoid being reckless. Let's see what the cards have to say. Card number 15, the key. New beginnings, directions, and adventures await for those ready to let go of the past. There you go. This is a very prominent card, I always feel like, in this deck. The key card is about unlocking something usually very insightful or helpful, beautiful, and you can tell in the description that this is going to have its best benefits if we're able to detach from what has happened, especially I would say in relationships with Venus and Aries, to not get fired up perhaps by those old happenstances, the old trigger points even, especially if they are existing only in the past. The key is in the present and in the future. So there's this energy that is warning us of these like outbursts, or what I feel is their trigger points. It's like somebody who says something to you in a certain kind of way, and it has triggered you and it will trigger you. Things that are happening in a cyclical pattern, behaviors that are happening in a cyclical pattern that are creating annoyance or frustration for you may be up for grabs. Being reckless or leaning into this kind of energy, I don't think is going to serve you best, let's say, for the next 3.5 weeks under this kind of influence. I think it's going to be important that we unlock something new that, again, is going to be found in our present moment and to help us moving forward. Let's see what the tarot has to give. Yes, Ace of Wands. An Ace of Wands is this spark. It's a new beginning, fresh fire, they're saying, fresh fire. This is kind of the energy that can go either way, right? It's like if something is being sparked up inside of you or given to you and it's triggering to you, it can fire you up. On the other hand, this could be very inspiring, a new idea, a new point of passion, something that you want to follow, something that lights you up in a really great way. So we are going to need to be, I think, discerning as we move through this Venus in Aries energy. For the next few weeks. The Ace of Wands is lovely because it can direct our spirit to something wonderful. It can light something up in you and provide you with this key piece of information, passion, like I said, new idea, inspiration. But I think there is an underlying energy of warning that is coming through with this particular aspect here, just because we don't want to fight. That's the feeling. The Ram energy, you want to be able to fight for what you love in an inspiring and passionate way, as opposed to a angry, a controlling, frustrated kind of way. So if you are finding yourself in the position that you are being like triggered by old things, old ways, patterns that have gone on, particularly in your relationships, it's up to you to notice, they're saying clean your side of the street, or notice what's coming up for you and what you have control over in order to be able to spark something different, find another way. A key piece of information, the key to doing something different is what's being offered here in the high expression of this particular aspect. So that is what it is that we want to be looking for, as opposed to getting wrapped up in the same old, same old. If you're getting wrapped up in a trigger point, you might feel like, you might hear yourself even saying, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening again. This never ends. It keeps going. It never stops. It's so annoying. It keeps happening. It's so frustrating. And if that's going on, I would say you can't control other people. So look within yourself to see what inspiring new thing you can try, how to respond instead of react to that. How can you allow yourself to find inspiration or the key in something that is in the moment that you have now, as opposed to getting lost or wrapped up in something that is part of your past, and particularly if you want to make it a part of your past experience. Doing so now and being open to that provides us with this insight and this spark that allows us to move forward in a different way, perhaps even trying something new. Yeah, the key card said new beginnings. Ah, the owl charm. Yes, this is it wants to be the start of something new based on the wisdom that you have gained. So when I pulled that, they said the wise old owl. It's like, look for the wisdom that you have from the past to be able to start something different, to do something different. Lean into what you have already to work with. If you know that's going to trigger you, if you know this is a past cycle that you don't like, if you know that this isn't working for you anymore, don't keep doing it. Use that wisdom to your advantage to try something new, start something new, spark something new, be inspired by something new. On Tuesday, March 10th, Vesta enters Pisces. We have two aspects to pull on happening on Tuesday, March 10th. We're going to focus on Vesta entering Pisces first. Vesta is going to move into Aries on May 13th. So we've got Vesta in Pisces for about 9 weeks, a little over 2 months' time. The description says, get ready for a quest for spiritual connection and healing as this aspirational asteroid invites creativity and opens up our third eye. Get ready to heal from the past so you can enter spring with a clean slate. I love this energy coming off of the back of the pull that we did for Venus in Aries. We heard about getting a key piece of information to move on from the past, and Vesta in Pisces for the next couple of months is going to lead us right into the spring season, a new astrological year, which is amazing, opening up our connection center, maybe your vision, your third eye, etc., to be able to heal from things that just aren't working. Let's see what the cards have to say for this aspect. Card number 29, the Star card. Hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. Beautiful. There you go. Oh, what a relief. This Star card feels like, oh my gosh, what a relief. That's how I'm feeling. It's like you can exhale now. Star energy is about your dreams returning, being able to restore your faith, restoring hope for yourself. This is a reconnection to your dreams with Vesta in Pisces, a reconnection to your vision, reconnection to what it is that you imagine for yourself. And the card is literally telling you the hard times are over. Anything that felt like it might be creating disconnection, whether that be, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, it could be a physical block that you've been feeling, connected to your goals, etc. Hopefully you've been working on establishing your goals during the entirety of Pisces season, of course. But this aspect here, we have 9 days left of Pisces season. This feels like, particularly on this day, March 10th, this first aspect feels like we get to reconnect now. The difficulties that you may have experienced in the past get to be left in the past. Hope is restored. Time to recenter and reconnect to the dreams, they're saying, that were and that will be. That's beautiful. What lovely energy. It's about reconnecting to your spirit for that wisdom and that knowledge to allow it to come through you. It's about believing again, believing in your dreams, believing in yourself. Let's see what we have for the tarot. The Five of Wands. There you go. This is an interesting card placement. I'm just going to take a look. Interesting card placement to have here, just because it feels a Five of Wands can be stirring things up, and the low expression of this can make us feel like we have to compete for our dreams, that we have to do something different, be something different, that we have to be comparing ourselves to others, we have to compete against others. But looking at the card again, it really feels like everyone working together is like a circle, and they're like working together for a common goal. So you may find that there's restoration of some of your resources or your connections. Things are changing in order to be able to honor that dream, that maybe what seemed so difficult to connect to before, or people that you wanted to connect to before, communities, groups, that this could be the community at large even, where it felt like there was a disconnect and you had to try really hard to be able to make a connection. That may be shifting or changing over the next approximately 9 weeks with this energy. This really feels like there is a spirited energy together as a community that's helping you to feel more connected. So wherever it is that you thought things were maybe not possible, or they just weren't going to work out, or they just were way too hard to manage, you may find that you have some help coming in. The reconnection piece of this may be much easier than you would ever expect, especially based on your past experience. So I think now this wants to be a clean slate. They said that, yes, get ready to heal from the past so you can enter spring with a clean slate. That's what this feels like. Like, we have to let go of what was in order to reconnect with what is now becoming. And the resources or people that are available to connect to that, to aid with that. Again, this could be a small community of people that you're getting back together with, and everything's flowing and it feels like everyone's on the same page, in the same alignment, and in the same energy, working toward a common goal. It could be the community at large. This could be a bigger group, like your entirety of your family. Whatever it is, there's some hope that's being restored with this energy and a reconnection that's happening. And I want to say it's happening with ease, or a bit more simply, or more naturally. So you don't have to try so hard. It's like the energy just wasn't there before, and now it's available. And the feeling is we have to believe that that is true, that that is happening, or there is opportunity for that, and something is changing. The high expression of this Five of Wands wants you to be open to working with others toward a common goal, using all of your energy together and being accepting of that instead of being against each other. This also could be healthy competition. Sometimes it comes through as that. So if you're looking at like a larger community or a larger group and you're like, I love what they're doing, it may fire you up to and inspire you to reconnect to your own dreams and go after it again, or revisit something that feels really good to you or that you always dreamed about. So please be open to that with this energy. It's a spiritual reconnection here with Vesta in Pisces. Okay, let's see what we've got for a charm. Ooh. That's an airplane charm. The airplane always gives higher perspective, higher perception. It can also mean that things are moving or you're traveling quite quickly, right? You don't travel slow in an airplane. So I would take that as it resonates, but there definitely is a different view moving forward that we need to be able to take, a different belief system, if you will, because you don't want to block yourself. So even if it's been hard and you're like, this just has not been easy, if you keep that narrative in place, then, that may be what your experience continues to be. But here, I think we need a higher perspective for forward movement or for momentum to be gained, to be able to move through things quicker. We need to see it from a bird's eye view in order to be able to get to a different place around it and really lean into that change that wants to happen through this reconnection. On Tuesday, March 10th, Jupiter goes direct in Cancer. So this is the second aspect that's happening today on Tuesday, March 10th. We've got Jupiter, which has been retrograde since 11/11/2025. So that's about 4 months. And it's not going to move into Leo until June 29th. So another 4 months. So we've got Jupiter in Cancer, going direct in Cancer for about 4 months here. This is what the description says about this energy. After a period of mood swings, our emotions become a source of strength and success as the planet of luck moves forward in the intuitive water sign. Trust your gut on your journey and everything will work out. This is a really nice energy for the day in general. If you haven't watched the Vesta entering Pisces pull, it's happening the same time or the same day as Jupiter going direct in Cancer. This is a wonderful opening. It feels a bit expansive. We get to use our feels to be able to show us the way forward, really trusting our intuition. I love that they put, and everything will work out. It's like if you believe it's going to work out and you trust your vibes, you trust your intuition, it will. Lovely. Of course, I love this kind of energy. Let's see what the cards have to say about Jupiter direct in Cancer. Card number 1 and abundance. Lucky times are ahead of you, along with good news, success, and prosperity. Yes, please. I can't think of a better card to have for Jupiter direct. This is obviously the number 1 card in this deck, the abundance card. This is all about celebration and prosperity and really aligning with the abundance that is available for you. The planet of luck with the abundance card moving forward based on your intuitive nudges. Yes, yes, and yes. This feels very good. I would say the biggest thing is to believe that you are abundant. This energy together, right? We had the star card with the abundance card, both of these aspects happening together. It's a restoration of your belief system. And in this case, really being able to trust the abundance of your intuition or of your feels. They keep saying it like that. The Cancer energy, the feels, all the feels, to guide you on your path. I want to see what the tarot provides here. The 6 of Swords. Everything will work out. This is smooth sailing here. A 6 of Swords is a transition card that provides peace and calm. It's a balancing energy. It's connected to the element of air here. So that has to do with communication and your mind. But really, this is a card of peaceful transition. It's coming from a place where things were conflicting and difficult, and we're shifting into a more peaceful journey here. So the transition becomes more abundant, more peaceful, more at ease is what they just said. Plus, the 6 of Swords often brings with it this beautiful energy of protection and support from spirit. So like things are shifting, especially I'm looking at the cards from the Vesta pull, Vesta moving into Pisces, because that's happening today. The 2 card couplings together are beautiful. It's inspired change and peaceful transition. Wonderful. This is what we want. We want to restore the abundance in your belief system and that hope. Remembering that hard times are over is what the star card says, and lucky times are ahead of you. I mean, we should just read these together in general. Hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. My brain is so excited. I'm talking to my mouth can't keep up with it. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. Lucky times are ahead of you, along with good news, success, and prosperity. Yes. It's a restoration of your hope and your dreams. And I almost put the wrong card there. That's funny. It's a restoration of all the things that are abundant in your life and being able to tap into that again, to feel that, and to relax into it is what I want to say with a Six of Swords. What Spirit's saying is, we're guiding you, we're ushering you. You don't need to try so hard. The hard times are over. The difficulty, the pushing, the forcing, the trying so hard, the laboring, the efforting. These aspects are not about that. Jupiter direct in Cancer, Jupiter being in Cancer for the next several months, asks us to be guided. Jupiter in Cancer asks us to trust our intuition above all else and to understand and believe in the abundance that is provided when we do that, and to allow ourselves to transition into a more seamless, peaceful, calming, harmonious energy as a result. Who doesn't love this? I mean, this is wonderful. Wonderful energy. Let's see what the charm provides. Help, service, support, angel wings, and a heart. An angel wing heart? Wow. This is the first time pulling this charm for me, and it is gorgeous. Yes, I will take it, and I will soak it up. There's lots of support for the restoration of abundance. That's what I have to say. There's lots of angelic support, and the higher ups are here to guide you. It's an ushering of the transition. They're basically saying, like, this doesn't have to be hard. It can be easier now. Things can go more smoothly for you. You can believe in that. Trust what your intuition is telling you. Even if in the past you felt like, I trusted my intuition, or at least I thought I did, and it didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to, and everything fell apart, and it didn't turn out well, and I made a mistake. Spirit's like, well, we need you to trust your intuition now, even if that happened before, because that's part of life. It's time for us to come in, and we will support this journey with you. I mean, if you have crossed over loved ones, people that you call your angels in spirit, they're present for this kind of energy as Jupiter goes direct in Cancer. It's a very loving and nurturing energy, particularly like matriarchal, mothering figures, etc. with the Cancer energy. It feels very good, very supportive, very loving. Allow yourself to open up your heart to the support that is being provided and that is available for you. It does not need to be hard. It's a time for you to trust that prosperity. Good times are ahead. On Saturday, March 14th, Ceres enters Taurus. Ceres is going to move into Gemini on May 28th. So we've got this asteroid in Taurus for approximately 2.5 months. Here's what the description has to say. The asteroid of nourishment can grow strong in earthy Taurus over the next few weeks. This energy can help us enhance our creative energy and make steady progress toward our hopes and dreams. Bloom where you are planted. This is wonderful energy. We're continuing this transitional vibe. They're also kind of telling us that we get to root ourselves here with this vibe. It's like time to sink our roots into the earth and provide some nourishment where you are. Bloom where you're planted. It's very nice. Bloom where you're planted. Time for some growth. We get to have, it just feels like grounded energy to take a beat, to take a breath, to give to yourself. Let's see what we have for the cards. Card number 32 and transformation. Reach out for the power and strength to make changes, enrich your life, and become the person you want to be. And look at this illustration. This may be the start of transforming how it is that you do take care of yourself and the becoming that is just beginning right now. A transformation card, of course, you can see the chains breaking free and liberation here. A transformation card is always about this beautiful change where people feel like they're becoming something different or they're being reborn. So this energy tells us that the way that we're going to do that is to nourish ourselves more. We've got to be moving into a place where we feel like the way that you're caring for yourself, the way that you're doing things here on this earthly plane, whatever it is that you're involved in at this time, this kind of transformative energy comes from being able to nourish those roots, give to yourself more. I really feel like something will naturally transform if we can allow ourselves to kind of use what we have around us creatively, right? It's like wherever it is that you feel like you want to be nourished or you feel like you're growing or there is growth happening, taking a beat to allow that transformation to take shape feels like what's happening here as we near the end of Pisces season with this particular aspect. It says it can help enhance our creative energy and help us make steady progress towards our hopes and dreams. The way that you're doing things is perhaps undergoing a transformation, and I feel like it's time for us to stick to that. That's what they're telling us in order to feel the liberation. Bloom where you're planted for the next couple of months. Nourish what you know is abundant. Nourish what you want to grow. Let's see what we have here. Oh, the Tower. The Tower card. Okay. This is becoming a bit more clear here with this coupling, right? You get a transformation card and then a Tower. This is Spirit saying something's not working probably, so we need you to take a look at that, to transform it. Again, if something doesn't feel like it's abundant to you or it's not something you want to put your time and energy into, it may become very clear with this aspect. Saturday, March 14th, or over the weekend, 14th through the 16th, the Tower card, as you can see, is the 16th card of the major arcana. But it just feels like for the next few days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, this Tower is not pictured fully cracked. The foundation is intact. There is a crack in the top of the Tower. Something needs to be addressed. I think something just needs to be transformed. That's why I'm feeling this energy of like, where are you now? Take stock. What do you want for yourself for the future? How can you transform what isn't working or what has fallen away in order for you to feel like you're nourishing something that is going to grow into something that's amazingly abundant? That's what you want to ask yourself with this particular energy. We want to grow strong. And in order to have a strong Tower, we have to make repairs where things may have been broken off. If you're holding on to something that you know you need to change, that's probably going to be highlighted with this coupling. I mean, to get a Tower energy is like an unexpected energy a lot of times. It can be an insight that comes where you go, oh, well, I this isn't working. I know what I need to do. I just need to transform this or shift this, and then I'm good to go. It could be something that comes into your life or that happens, and you know you've been on this cycle for a while, or you know that this hasn't been working and now something comes in to shift it. It could have been something that this feels like it could be part of the past, like you already know what it is. So some of you may already know this isn't working for me and I need to actually transform it. I need to facilitate that change now in order for it to be strong and steady, for it to be something that I can build upon in the future. And we want to nourish that energy now. So if you've got to make repairs, if you've got to go in and uproot something and plant it in a different place, if you've outgrown something, think of yourself like a plant is what they're saying. So they're giving these examples of like repotting a plant because it's outgrown it or it's cracked the pot. Think of yourself as a plant. Ask yourself, what do my roots need to be able to provide me with an amazing foundation to build upon in the future or to grow from? And make those changes. I would say, as soon as possible, but I think they're going to become very evident March 14th through the 16th. Let's see what we have here. Oh, an infinity symbol. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah. I think that it's, for some of you, it's been something that's been cyclical. So interrupting it to get it into the most seamless and limitless, abundant flow is what needs to be transformed. So if you're feeling like this is all wonky, this doesn't work, or this isn't serving me, or I've busted out of this, or I don't align with this anymore, that's where you want to look to nourish it. That's where you want to give attention and light and love and compassion and, water those roots. You're not going to, if you have a plant that's flourishing and you have a plant that's cracked open its pot and its roots are dry or what have you, it's outgrown its pot, are you going to come in and water the plant that is flourishing already? I think we need attention. Attention must be paid at this point to the things that feel like they need attention, that need repair, that need some love. And as you do that, it's going to liberate the energy and get it back into a seamless cycle, like that limitless energy of what the infinity symbol represents. As you do that, it's going to provide, right? Provide. And then the growth will happen naturally from there. On Wednesday, March 18th, we have a new moon in Pisces. This new moon in Pisces marks the end of eclipse season and just about closes Pisces season for us. Here's what the description has to tell you about this beautiful new moon. It says, a new season is about to begin, and this wise new moon can help see all the possibilities the world has to offer. Shed the burdens of the past and let them go. The future is bright. I mean, let's just soak that in for a second. Yes, what a wonderful way to close the season. I mean, we're getting ready for a pretty big turnover here. As we know, Pisces season closes on the 19th, so we've got another day here to soak up the vibes of this yummy new moon before we move into Aries season. The sun enters Aries, and that's the spring equinox and a new astrological year where we're starting over. So it's like a double closure with a new energy. The new moon, it's very dark in the sky. So there's going to be this feeling of possibility that's connected to this new moon in Pisces to close out Pisces season. And it feels like we're just supposed to soak it up for a bit. We've, been tapping into our imagination or our vision. We've been doing our best to make sure that we're running that through a reality filter and doing what we need to do for Pisces season to move things forward, but not push, be patient where we need to, connect to our energy and our spirit. And this final new moon just feels like, like possibilities are endless. The dark night sky with all the twinkling stars. That's what this feels like. Love it. Let's see what the cards have to provide for this new moon. Ooh, okay. The Snake card, card 28. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path. Just be careful. Woo! Interesting card to put here. You can see this is a 28, 10, 1. This is the shedding of a skin. They're telling us to trust our intuition yet again, and we know that. I just wonder, it's like we start the season with a warning, and now we kind of have a warning to close the season as well. Just be careful. Sometimes the snake energy can be a bit of, something slithery coming into your life that needs to be appropriately, that you need to be conscious of. I'll say that. Like opening yourself up to limitless possibilities and being able to set new intentions on that back, realizing the future is bright, being able to shed a skin and to trust your intuition to move forward is wonderful. Interesting that they're also reminding us to be careful. And I want to pull the tarot because I want to see if it'll give us some information about, because I want to just sit in the new moon in Pisces, but they're saying, like, don't sit for too long. The world needs you. And we're about to move into springtime and fire and a fresh start. So we can't necessarily maybe sit for too long in this energy. It feels like shedding a skin. Ah. The tarot's on my side here. 3 of Cups. I say we celebrate. Celebrate this energy. The 3 of Cups is a culmination energy where people come together just to experience joy and play and fun and celebration, okay? Something to be happy about and something to be joyful about. So in this case, I feel like we're getting Ouroboros energy. This is something cycling back, something to be grateful for, another astrological year coming to a close, and paying attention to the intuitive warnings as well as the intuitive nudges. I just had an alarm interrupt that, but I was saying that there is something to be said for a snake energy being able to move you toward this possibility and the energy that's coming next or cycling next, while also trusting your intuition to give you the warnings that you need. I love that they've given us a 3 of Cups here, though, because it's like, celebrate this moon. Come together, be joyful, allow your dreams and limitless possibilities to be a part of your experience. It doesn't have to be all of your experience, but the new moon in Pisces wants us to reconnect to that and to feel the expansiveness of that before we move into the fiery Aries energy and springtime. Springtime is where things start to bloom, right? Where things start to become, where they blossom. And so we're planting ourselves to prepare for that. And this new moon, I think we're just allowed to go, oh, isn't that lovely? With the understanding that you're probably shedding a skin. There is something that you're going to be walking into. There is some closure here. There is a cycle that may be concluding for you as you begin something else. And there is something to celebrate here as well. I also just want to say, like, be around people that feel good to you. Being open to those kind of possibilities and tuning into the joyful energy of your heart. People who lift you up, people who celebrate your achievements, people who get you and they love you. That is the vibe. But of course, we always want to be careful as we're shedding a skin and moving into a new adventure to trust our intuition in both ways, both the warnings and the directional arrows. All right, let's see what we have here for a charm. It is a dove. This is like the welcoming of a peaceful time or peace of mind. I'm just going to read this again. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path. A more peaceful path, perhaps. A more joyful path, for sure. Let yourself explore the possibilities of what it looks like and feels like to be free or liberated, to be in alignment, to be joyful, to be peaceful, to be healed. Because that's what this feels like it's offering a glimpse into. We wouldn't want to miss that, would we? Especially as we close out Pisces season. So I hope that this serves you. And that you will make the most of the beautiful energy for the Pisces season that is upon us. I absolutely love the energy connected to this season. Of course, again, I do want to remind you that I do have available starting February 15th. So these are up. A Pisces season pick a card where you can choose from 3 cards and watch your guidance for this intuitive and creative season. We showed those at the start of this video if you want to get a look there, but otherwise you can head down to the description and check that out. I do have monthly personal readings. So March monthly is available at the start of Pisces season, and then available on March 15th, you'll have an Aries season pick a card, as well as the April monthly reading. You'll find all the links in the descriptions, as well as the timestamps to jump around for all of the different aspects and the guidance that's connected to those. So you can check that out. You can visit the Intuitive Astrology playlist to keep up with the astrology guidance that I'll be providing coming up. And if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. That really helps me out. And thank you so much for tuning in and watching.